Yo, what's going on YouTube? Wes here. Y'all don't know how happy I am that Kaiju is back after a month-long break. I tell you, I hate it when these month-long breaks happen because I love this manga so much, but you know, it's for a good cause. We all have to think about the author Matsumoto's health and schedule. You know, the man needs time to rest, relax, rejuvenate, maybe see his family so that he can come back strong. And let me tell you, come back strong, the man did with this chapter, okay? This chapter is gas, in my opinion, well worth the wait, especially if you're a fan of Hoshina and Kaiju number 10. Without further ado, let's get into it. I want to go back to something that I had said about Hoshina's release force when it comes to Numbers Weapon 10, something I had said in a previous review, I believe. But I am shocked that Matsumoto is going all in on Hoshina being the first one to have 100% release force with the new suits. Out of the rest of the combatants in the war, I did not expect that. I fully expected Matsumoto to save this power up for some point in the future and just have Hoshina use strategy and skill alone to overcome 12. But nope, it looks like the gravity of the situation has forced Hoshina and number 10 to fully neurosynchronize with each other. So yeah, I was wrong, and that turning point was completely unexpected for me. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about chapter 93. So after Naruto and Hoshina and number 10 have a little heart-to-heart moment, Hoshina manages to come up with a plan. They both only have one shot at this, and so Hoshina recommends that they read each other's minds in order to fully grasp every aspect of said plan. First of all, I gotta say that this level of coordination is actually super overpowered. Hoshina can communicate high-level concepts and strategies to number 10 without even talking. I'd have to imagine what Hoshina can visualize in his mind is also shared with Kaiju number 10 and maybe vice versa. Since they weren't shown to have been reading each other's minds before, then I'm going to assume that this is an effect of their newfound 100% synchronization. This opens up the door for a lot more techniques for Hoshina too, and it also begs the question, just how fast can Hoshina and Kaiju number 10 communicate now that they are essentially in each other's minds? Or have the same mind, I'm not sure how that works. They don't have to physically talk. The two of them talking to each other in their minds on panel is just how it is translated to us, the readers, so that we can understand what is happening. For all we know, the entire conversation between the two of them could have taken all but 3 seconds to complete in real time. So I'm very curious about that aspect. Secondly, I love how this plan that Hoshina informs 10 about is never stated or revealed to the reader until the very end of the chapter. That built so much excitement during the next battle sequence because I was itching to know what the hell Hoshina was going to do to turn this fight around. Also, I was curious to know how Kaiju number 10 could even factor in because he supposedly just sacrificed his tail arm thing to protect Hoshina. So I'm thinking, what can he even do now that he's been downgraded mid-match? And then in the next few pages, I am like, what in the One Piece? But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that part soon too, because it was hype. So here we have the classic samurai western standoff. You know, both fighters are looking for the right moment to use Ei Jutsu, unsheath their blades and strike. And it's here that the first step of Hoshina's plan is revealed. Step 1 is to create an opening shot to number 12's neck where his core resides. But in order to do that, number 12 will need to be caught off guard by a new technique he's never ever seen Hoshina do, since the dude is, you know, an adaptation machine. And you know what's funny? But I just realized this. This fight is very similar to a current ongoing fight in Jujutsu Kaisen, like around chapter 230 something, with the whole constant adaptation of your enemy's powers thing, you know? Like, I won't spoil anything for JJK fans, but listen, if you know, you know. So Hoshina's heightened speed allows him to slice through number 12 just enough to finagle his way behind him, around to the location of the weapons that he had Okonogi drop from the sky a few chapters back. From the weapon cases, he grabs 2 of his standard Wakizashi style blades, and at this point I'm thinking that he's just going to sacrifice those swords to create the ultimate opening he needs with his single blade form. And I was partially correct. However, never in a million years did I imagine what proceeded next would actually happen. Hoshina grabs his blades, and Kaiju number 10 uses the exposed muscle-like fibers from where his tail was sliced open at the tip to grab onto Hoshina's katana, effectively giving our boy, one of the goats, access to Centauryu. Do I even have to reference Zoro, Mr. Roronoa Zoro? Easily my favorite character in One Piece, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate Luffy's guts, but that's neither here nor there. What I love about Naoya Matsumoto is that he's such a shonen fanboy, and it shows. This entire fight had a little bit of Bleach, a little bit of Naruto, with the inner dialogue Hoshina has with Ten, and now we finally got a homage to One Piece, covering the big three all in one. Getting back to the battle at hand, this new blade form allows Hoshina to use a triple-bladed version of his eightfold slasher, cutting up the entire chest cavity of number 12. And the whole time this is going on, I'm just imagining the AMVs people are going to make with the music from Metal Gear Rising when this is finally animated. Those AMVs are going to go so hard, man. So now that step 1 in Hoshina's plan is accomplished, we move on to step 2, which blew my mind, but when you're on death's door, I mean, you gotta do something to survive, right? Apparently Hoshina ain't have enough time to cook because this technique is coming in raw. And by raw, I mean as in he's never once executed this new move. At this point, it's all just theory crafting, but we are introduced to the Hoshina style sword slay technique number 7, the 12-layered strike, which is described as being a high-speed 12-hit assault where every strike is focused on one central area of the body. And I freaking love the panel when he uses it too. I'm debating with myself whether or not I should make it the thumbnail for the video. It looks so clean. And it reads really well too, which is a common thing for Matsumoto. No overuse of speed lines detected here. It's great. The response from Kaiju number 12, who's about to be hit, is to just adapt and outperform. So he does the most logical thing that he can think of and grows more limbs and attempts to block technique number 7 and protect his neck literally for more reasons than one. This results in Hoshina breaking through 5 of the arms that number 12 had at his disposal, leaving him with a single arm to protect his core before Hoshina can deal the finishing blow. And here's where I was like, mind blown. Hoshina greased him up with 11 hits, right? And I'm thinking, oh no, the 12th hit didn't fully connect. So what now? Hoshina is like, yeah, Kaiju, I win. And that is actually a cool reference back to what happened when number 10 was defeated, where he looked over at Hoshina and was like, human, looks like I win. Right before Kafka stepped in and did his thing. But anyway, and then we see the tail of number 10 completely missing from the back of Hoshina's numbers weapon suit, right? And then it clicks. Oh, the 12th and final strike was never intended to be from Hoshina. It was always intended to come from number 10 itself. Then in comes number 10, flipping down through the air with enough force to stab number 12's neck core while he's distracted. Can someone say ouchies? Because ouchies. This plan was so well played that not even the reader could see exactly how it was going to go until the end. And that's what makes it great. I mean, we obviously knew that Kaiju number 10 was going to come into play at some point, but no one thought that his freaking tail was going to do what? Jump off the rest of the suit and yeet itself at the enemy? That was insane. And I can't wait until it's animated. This is one of the W chapters of Kaiju number 8 for sure. And the ending dialogue from Hoshina is also pretty cool because I've been thinking about this after reading Kaiju number 8 again and again so many times. But Hoshina seems to accept the fact that with his sword-based techniques, it seems like his role will always have him situated as the point man of the 3rd division. Or at least I believe that's what he's referencing by calling himself the go-between. He's the guy that you send in to soften up the enemy before you send in the heavy hitter to finish the job. In this case, the heavy hitter ended up being Kaiju number 10, and in a poetic sense, it is a callback to how 10 was defeated. Hoshina forced number 10 into a corner, but couldn't deal the finishing blow. Then in came Mina to the rescue. So yeah, Hoshina is content with his position and his role, and hopefully he just gets to have fun from here on in. And speaking of Mina, that's the next fight that we have to wrap up. Since out of the 5 Daikaiju that were supposed to jump Kafka, only Kaiju number 14, aka Monolith Kaiju, is left. This is going to be a very important showcase for Mina as a character, because she's mostly been on a back burner since this series began. Like, we know what she can do based on some feats, but mostly it's how other characters revere her and her capabilities. We actually don't know what the upper limits of Mina's powers are. Not to mention, she's somewhat the female protagonist, right? Or she was kind of positioned as that very early on. Personally though, I think Kikoru fills that role a lot better from day one, but I'm excited to see what she can do as a fighter. Heck, I don't even need Matsumoto to give us any flashbacks in the middle of her battle. Just let us see what the woman can do in a real fight. Show us why Mina Ashiro, the leader of the 3rd Division of the Anti-Kaiju Defense Force, is so widely respected by damn near everyone. Now is also the perfect time to bring this theory that I've had cooking since, I want to say chapter 75 was when I first spoke about it, when I reviewed it, which was like 9 months ago. But somehow I don't think Mina is going to have an easy time of it. I think Kaiju number 9 is going to pull up at some point and attempt to get rid of her. Personally, I feel that her very life and importance to Kafka is going to be a countermeasure in case number 9's plan isn't shaking out very well. Remember that through Isao's memories, number 9 likely already knows more than enough about Kafka's personal relationships than he did previously. So number 9 is not above playing any card that he can to survive and win, even going as far as making the protagonist choose between protecting the life of another or making an attempt on his own life. He is an absolute snake, and I expect snake-like tactics from him. But as always, we will cross that road when we get there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you like this kind of content, then click the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Also hit the bell to stay notified when I drop more content such as this. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the next video. God bless. Peace.